Hi loves, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Jennifer, also with Jennifer. On today's tutorial, I'll be teaching you how to cut and sew a rose sleeve. But before we move ahead, kindly like, subscribe and click the notification bell so you can be notified anytime I upload new videos. So let's get started. Moving ahead guys, this is my sleeve pattern. As you can see, the elbow, the wrist, as the sleeve length. So now this is the pattern paper that I'll be using. Now you go ahead, you fold it into two. We're going to be using this part, right? This place is going to be on fold. If you watch very well, just watch very well, you understand. I folded from this part to this end, making this place to be on fold. Let me label it so that you unfold, right? So I'll go ahead to place my pattern paper on it and I'll pin it. I'll pin this one. Right, so after pinning from my elbow raise, I'm going to go down by 3. Right, from this elbow, from my elbow, from this point, I'll go down by 3 inches. I hope you can see that. And I'll draw a straight line. A straight line down to this point. From this point I went downwards by 3, right? So now I'm going to chase out this sleeve. And trace this and blend this way too. I'm gonna and go ahead to cut. So after cutting guys, this is what we have. So now I'll go ahead and transfer this to my fabric. So moving ahead guys, this is the fabric I'm going to be using, and as usual, what the same thing we did for the pattern paper is what we're going to be doing for the main fabric. This part of the pattern is on fold and this part of the fabric is on fold as well. So now I'm going to pin it down to my fabric, right? So now that we're flipping, we're going to be adding half inch sewing allowance on each of, like from this point we're going to add half inch here. If you use 1 inch to sew, you can use 1 inch, you can add 1 inch, but if you use 1/2 inch to sew, I'll be adding half inch on this part. So this part is going to remain the same, so just, you know, right? So I'll go ahead to cut this down. Yeah, so now I'm going to move to my sewing machine and sew up this part and this part. So I'll see you guys in my sewing machine, and don't forget to notch this place, notch here, right, like that, just like that. So I'll see you guys in my sewing machine. So now the sleeve is going to have a lining, and I want the lining to stop on this elbow part. So I'm going to place this glove and then let's cut. My hands a bit notch here, so we can go to the sewing machine now. Now we are on our sewing machine. I'll be using black thread so that the lines can be visible. So I went ahead to notch this part so that I can know where I'll be sewing. So we'll be sewing from this notched part straight down, then when we get here we'll curve our hand, right? So I'll go ahead to sew. So now I'm going to bring the lining and try to get the midpoint of the line. That's the middle part of the lining. I'll fold it into 4 like this. if you remember, I said we're going to cut lining for it, right? So I'll try and get the midpoint of this right. Okay, you can see that our rose is already coming in shape, right? So I'll pin this midpoint down. So you can also this around, so the much part, pin down this side and this part too. This part. So you can place. So I'm going to pin this sharp part to this middle, right? Okay, so I'll pin down this part. I'll pin it together with the main, right? So I'm going to pin this side. So now this is the main part. You have to start pinning here. Pin your design as you're going to design. So if I think you can't stay on this, you can start it to the other side. If you want more, you can see how I'm doing this, I get more fullness. That's how you're going to do it. Then get another one onto here, right? Pin here too. Pin here as well. Pin here as well. Pin here as well. Just hold it. So for your clients, you have some like I said earlier. So it's simple. So this one pin like this. Just like this. Look at me. You also. Don't put it down here. Only so same one. So move to the inside. Okay. So this, then we have no. So, right. You can sew it on your clothes. This part, this is what it looks like. And this part, okay. Then next part, so going on. So this part. While making yours, you can actually make it more beautiful, you know, bigger, and you know, you can actually arrange this more to more, like you can make it more fuller if you want. So I went ahead to sew this part, and I'll go ahead again to close the sleeve, and I'll show you what it looks like.
So at that point I came upwards by 1 inch, and I'll connect it down to the corset length, and I'll go straight to cutting the pattern. Like I said earlier, the circle we created with the pencil earlier was just a guide. So now is when you're going to connect those lines together, just the way you're seeing on the screen right now, just the way you're watching it right now. You connect the lines from the nipple points to the underbust, from the underbust down to the armhole. So if your client have a big boobs, if you're working with a client that have a big boobs, at that point you're gonna go out by half an inch and connect the half an inch down to the underbust. So you can, so the client's boobs can be able to sit properly in the cup, right? But this pattern is going to work for size 8, size 10, size 12 that has a small boobs. So I'm going ahead to connect my lines together, and out, cut. If you watch closely, you totally understand what I'm cutting and how I'm cutting them, and that is the major reason why I did not exclude this cutting part, because I actually want you to see and understand how I cut all the patterns, right? So if you watch very well, you would totally understand. So these are all my patterns. So I'm going to go ahead to cut the pattern straight on the main fabric. So for right now, I'm going to go in. I folded my fabric into two, so we're going to cut 2 pieces for each of the pattern paper. So at that point, for the middle point, for the middle part of the pattern, we're going to go in by ½ inch, just like I'm showing you on the screen right now. I'm going in by ½ inch sewing allowance. Normally I use ½ an inch to join all my patterns together. If you use 1 inch, then definitely you're going to use 1 inch for this point. So at that point where I marked my ½ inch, I'm going to pin down my pattern and cut. So since I'm using ½ an inch to join all my pieces together, I'm going to pin down all the pattern on my main fabric, and I'll chalk down half inch round this where I'm going to sew, just exactly how you're seeing or how you're watching it in the video. I'm going to chalk down my ½ inch round, except for the side of the corset or the pattern, because we already added 2 inches sewing allowance for the side, so there's no need to add 2 inches or ½ inch sewing allowance on it again. So go ahead and chalk down the ½ inch round all the pattern, and you cut. The same thing I did for the main fabric is the same thing I'm going to do for the lining, right? So after cutting on my pattern, this is now the most important part of this tutorial, the illusion skein net. For me, I don't double my illusion net. I don't double it so that it can give me illusion, like so I can be given, right? That is the main reason why we use illusion, so it will not be showing that that you used a net or you used illusion net on it. So I don't double my illusion net, right? So I'm gonna bring my pattern unfold. Don't forget that it's unfold at that point. Yes, the front, like the middle point is unfold. So I'm going to pin down my pattern on the illusion net and I'll cut it. And while I'm cutting, I don't include half an inch or sewing allowance to it because the illusion net is stretchy, right? So I won't need any sewing allowance. I'll just cut it exactly what is in the pattern paper, apart from the sharpness, that the down part where I'm cutting right now. You can add half inch at that point because you're going to be joining it to the main fabric, but for the other side you don't need to join or add half inch on it. So this is what we have after cutting out, and after cutting out all the patterns. So I'll go out to my iron table and give this a good press. By the way, this is how your corset patterns should be looking like. Your fabric and the illusion net, this is how it should look like. In my next video, I'll be showing you how to join these pieces together. So guys, don't forget to like, subscribe and share this video to your loved ones. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next one. Bye.